Howdy, ladies and gentlemen. This is Alone in the Dark official showcase. 4K. But yeah, let's get into it. Waste no time. Take control of your destiny.
There is a house in New
That's nice.
Orleans. They call the rising sun, where thousands of young to salvation have gone. Oh God, she knows I'm one.
Let them get inside, compare. They're not the good kind.
Derceto isn't cursed or blessed. It's a battleground.
Maybe the dark man just likes it when you suffer.
Ooh.
Have you ever talked to a doctor about your condition?
This is madness!
Are you crazy? Fall on your knees, wear the mask, praise his name.
Welcome to the Madhouse, Detective.
Oh, why did that end so quickly? Oh man, I wish it didn't end so abruptly. This is a weird beginning, man. This one right here. New Orleans. Oh man, what can I even say about this? I might have to watch the IGN overview with it.
Not the good kind.
Derceto isn't cursed or blessed.
I like her line by far. It's not cursed or blessed. It's a battleground.
The dark man just likes it when you suffer.
So I'm saying, okay, let's see. Before I say anything else, let's see. Return to Derceto? Is it Derceto? Derceto Manor, and it's reimagined of Alone in the Dark. A love letter to the 90s cult classic horror. Interesting. Discovering that her uncle has gone missing, Emily Hartwood goes looking for him with the help of private investigator Edward Carnby. Arriving at Derceto Manor, a home for mentally fatigued, they encounter strange residents, portals to nightmarish worlds, dangerous monsters, and ultimately a plot of rising evil and its followers. Okay, I gotta see more. Alright, I'm gonna cut back to when I'm going to the IGN thing. For what I'm seeing right now, the environment looks crazy, creepy things going on. Like, look at this on the ceiling. I don't even know. Like, I gotta know more. There's 2 videos like I recommended, so they're like this and that back to back. They were sent together, so I'll check them out. Wait, 1, 2, 3, and now we're over here with Phil Hornshaw. Let's do this.
A new Alone in the Dark game is coming, returning the series all the way back to its 1992 roots with a reboot of the game that helped create the survival horror genre. THQ Nordic announced the game during its 2022 game showcase and gave GameSpot an early hands-off look at Alone in the Dark.
See, that's another thing too. It's THQ Nordic, so, you know, what else are they responsible for? Because THQ Nordic. Let me see. I think they got like a new SpongeBob game coming out too. Or is it just like games under? Yep, the new South Park game. That's yeah. Anyways, just their name is familiar, so I was like, it's got to be something good, right?
Which it calls a reimagining of, and a love letter to, the original 3D horror game. The rebooted title is a third-person horror experience that takes a page from more recent entries in the genre, like Resident Evil 4, 5, and 6, and Dead Space. If you're not familiar, the original Alone in the Dark was set in the 1920s American South, and followed one of 2 characters as they tried to escape a monster-filled mansion
I love the beginnings of games, man. The little humble beginnings.
called Derceto Manor. A lot of the things we've come to think of as survival horror, like dangerous fights with monsters that leave you
Is that him
overpowered
squaring up?
and solving puzzles as you explore, are major elements of the original game. There have been several games in the Alone in the Dark series since the first was released, but the latest game is returning to what made the original a classic, while updating those elements for modern audiences.
Cool.
Swedish developer Pieces Interactive is making the new Alone in the Dark, which also centers on Derceto Manor in the 20s and the original's two main playable characters, private detective Edward Carnby.
Wait, so Nordic is like the promoter, or like this? Their studio is under them? I still have to understand how that works. That confuses me so much sometimes.
And Emily Hartwood. You'll choose which character to play at the start of the game, like in the original. But this time, Edward and Emily's stories aren't exactly the same. So to get the full picture of what happens in Alone in the Dark, you'll probably want to play it twice. Derceto Manor has been recast as a mental hospital for rich patients. As in the original game, the characters arrive looking for information about Emily's uncle, Jeremy Hartwood. But instead of trying to uncover details about the mansion owner's suicide, they're attempting to find him after Jeremy sent a strange letter to Emily. Derceto isn't the only setting you'll visit either. There are new locations that make up the game, including a spooky alternate dimension world you'll visit through portals and which seems to be full of monsters. Combat is a major part of the game, and you'll use both firearms and melee weapons to fight some hideous, twisted monsters. Footage we saw included pistols and shotguns, but it sounds like you'll also have to defend yourself with whatever objects you can grab. You'll also face monsters you can't easily kill, which might mean you'll have to run away instead of standing your ground. The game's monsters are designed by artist Guy Davis, who worked on Gears of War 4 and movies such as The Shape of Water, Nightmare Alley, and Pacific Rim. Story is also a big component of the new Alone in the Dark, with Amnesia, The Dark Descent, and Soma writer Mikkel Hedberg penning the reimagined version of the game's tale. Hedberg said during THQ's presentation that the story will be more active than the original. Expect cinematic cutscenes and voiced dialogue, in addition to notes, letters, and other items you'll find as you explore Derceto Manor and the rest of the world. According to THQ, though the game will see you fighting monsters and occasionally running from threats, it's taking a different tack than other survival horror games. While most tend to focus on a more terror experience, Alone in the Dark is trying to explore other aspects of the horror genre. The original had a fairly Lovecraftian story with a lot of dense, heavy atmosphere.
I'm noticing that it does look very Lovecraftian. I don't know if it's just the common dude in a tux top and suit bottoms, but there's something about Lovecraftian that always has this type of character and these weird warping reality walls and shit like that. Always. And it seems like that. I mean, it's a madhouse, then walking into portals in different dimensions. It's got that kind of vibe.
And psychological dread. That atmospheric brand of horror
yeah, that was funny.
Unpause
it, and he goes, and psychological dread.
For this new game. And while you'll definitely fight horrific creatures, combat may not be the main thrust of the game.
That's good,
Alone in the Dark is coming to PlayStation 5.
Honestly, if the combat is just like not too quirky and it does what it's supposed to do, but the more horror elements of the Lovecraftian part are more focused on with the story, I think that's like better for a horror game anyways. Like unless you're making an actual horror shooter, yeah, then
5, Xbox Series X and S, and
focus
PC.
on the spooks.
THQ said the game has been in the works since late 2019 and is currently right around an alpha state, but no release date has yet been set. A teaser featuring Grace, a returning character from Alone in the Dark 2, will be playable at Gamescom later this month. And now, let's leave you with some more gameplay so you can get a sense of Alone in the Dark for yourself.
Oh shit, yeah, that's nasty. Ow. Yeah, the way they're like death animation almost makes you feel like they're gonna get back up. That's really good death animation. Cause like after shooting it with the shotgun, it fell, and then the way it squirms on the ground, you think it's gonna pop back up. That's A1. Cool. Cool. Definitely seems like it's going to be a banger. A banger. We need more horror games. We really need more horror games, so I'm messing with this one. Alright. Much love, Moonlight. I'll see you on the next one. Tell me what you think down below. Peace.